where we've seen certain companies that had a lot of potential get derailed is when they bring in outside, independent contractors or consultants, and they don't have those independent contractors or consultants sign up to full legal agreements. It's just a handshake agreement, a relationship, and that independent contractor never assigns over any of the work that they've done for the company. And if that happens and the independent contractor or consultant hasn't assigned their work, then they still own that work. And you'll be involved in a potential dispute between the company and the contractor who might decide, hey, and this is all worst case scenario, right? We're talking about a very cynical approach. But that contractor could say, okay, well, this thing that you paid me to do is awesome. I'm going to run with it. And I didn't have to sign an agreement to assign my work over to you. That means I can do whatever I want with it.
Right. Wow. Okay. Yeah. I'm glad you brought that up because I want us to talk about the worst case scenario.
Exactly.
And that way you avoid that.
Yep.
Because as entrepreneurs, we are too optimistic. But everything's going to work out right. I'm going to shake your hand and we should be good to go.
It's exactly right. Exactly right. And that's why making sure that you have honest conversations with your co-founders, if you have co-founders, is so important, right? Because let's say even if you think that you're going to be the best of friends or best partners for 1 year, 2 years, 3 years, 5 years, we have seen, our fair share at Polsinelli of founder disputes. And they can happen within 2 months after the company has been incorporated, or they can happen 5 years after the company has been incorporated.
Wow.
And so you want to be very practical and realistic with your co-founders, even if they are, your best friends.
Yeah. So one of the things that I am not the best at, I don't like that much, is contracts.
Yep.
And I know you probably read a fair share of contracts.
Yep.
What are some things you've seen or some mistakes you've seen entrepreneurs are making, and how can they avoid making those mistakes when it comes to contract? With
respect to contracts between founders and the company, some of you might be familiar with the concept of vesting, when equity vests over time, right? And so I would always advise that if you are a founder with a co-founder or co-founders, that you have vesting provisions baked into your founder's agreement.
Okay.
And what that means is that if, let's say, Zeke, you have a co-founder that you love, but in 12 months, he or she decides they no longer want to work with you on the business, their equity can be repurchased by the company at a nominal value.